broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Miriam, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What is up, AFTERBUZZ TV fans? We are rocking out here in the AFTERBUZZ studio, and we are bringing you Younger. This is season 1, episode 4, The Exes. I'm your host, Danica Kennedy. You can find me online at Danica Kennedy, and my crazy co-host. Co-host. What are your names, people? Tell me.
Hi, I'm Annika Michelle.
And I'm your host, Joe Doyle.
Just to let you guys know what that was, Joe was copying my every move before we went on the air, like he's doing right now. So I said, if you're going to dance, you better dance crazy like me. And he's like, oh, that's a challenge. I'm going to dance crazier than you. And look what he's doing. He thought he could outdance me. So I chose every crazy dance move you can imagine just to make him do it.
You didn't twerk.
Okay, it's a little hard to twerk in a chair.
Well, welcome to the maturity here in the Younger studio.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, really happy to have you guys here. We'll twerk it later. We'll we'll table that twerking discussion for later.
Yeah, just get ready for the finale, guys. You'll want to stay tuned.
Yeah.
A twerk off.
Speaking of which, if you're not already following us online, be sure to check us out on iTunes, research Younger on AFTERBUZZ TV, and be sure to give us 5 stars because we're all about the 5 stars. Also, love the comments, the reviews. The more you guys interact, the more we interact, and we love hearing what you guys have to say. But speaking of what we have to say, I mean, I want to hear what you guys thought of the episode, but I was like, oh, I'm going to check out this show. Ooh, this show's really good. And now I'm like, what is happening in this show?
Right.
What do you guys think?
Well, since you looked at me, I'll just jump in first. I think, I like the show, but there's definitely a different feel now. I don't know what's going on, if the writer, if it's different writing, or if the actors think that the material is stale, but the material isn't as funny or as it was at the beginning. It's just I was laughing like crazy the first couple episodes, and I don't know if I don't want to say they're running out of jokes or they're rehashing jokes, but now it's just kind of like a little bit different vibe. But then again, it could also be because there's been some tumultuous times in these relationships, and that could be why I'm sitting there a little uneasy. You know, that might be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I am enjoying the show so far. Like, it's been good, like he said. But for this weird reason, this episode was a little slower for me.
Yeah,
even though there was a lot going on. That's the weird thing. There's a lot going on, but it still was just kind of like slower for me.
Yeah.
It's weird. It shouldn't be the way when there's like that much going on. Maybe that's why. Maybe because there was too much going on, I was like easily distracted and, thinking about other things. But because there was like the sex, and then there was the, the book signing thing, then she missing it, then like he's hooking up with another girl, then they go and like throw stones. It was just like a lot going on a 30-minute episode, which had like a bunch of commercials, so it was really only like 22 minutes. So it was like, I don't know. It was good. I mean, like, I like the show. I do. It's nothing against them. I just think this episode was a little
too much.
Yeah.
Kinda. I mean, yeah, I understand that totally. There's a lot going on, but at the same time, not that much substance.
Right.
I was laughing my ass off the first episode, and I was like, yes, I'm all about this show. And I feel like the jokes they used at the beginning are being recycled over and over again, where I'm like, why is every women comedy thing like, my vagina joke? Like, I have a gray, bushy vagina. And I'm like, why is that every joke? Like, can women tell any jokes that aren't about their fucking vaginas? Oh, I didn't say that. They're stupid. And, no, but really, it's like, it makes me so mad about, like, female comedians now. Like, I watch, like, Younger and Amy Schumer, and there's all these shows, and they have the same jokes. And I think the actors are doing a great job, production design, set. I just feel like the writing's not as strong as I want it to be.
That's fair.
But I guess we should dive into this episode before I go on another rant. But we start off ride or die bitches.
Yeah.
Well, they're in the bar, but before they get to the bar, there was some hot sex going on.
There was a hot hot scene for sure.
Liza and Tatman Josh.
Yeah, they were getting it on, man.
They took it to the bone zone for sure.
And they broke the bed 3 times.
Yeah.
And she kept her top on the entire time.
She got the bra,
The wildest sex of her life, but she kept some of her clothes on.
Well, like that kind of leaves something to the imagination, Maybe
that's true.
Maybe that's what she's... oh, no, never mind. I'm not going there. Go ahead.
I mean, it's so funny because, last week in the episode, she's going to tell this guy, like, oh, I'm actually old and confess. And then she caves and... goes after what Frida wants. What's her vagina's name?
Vagina, Frida.
Whatever Frida wants. And so she has some crazy sex. And then the next morning, she's about to tell him again, but then the sex was really good. She keeps, forgetting to tell him. But then she was talking about that Nirvana concert. And he was like, weren't you, 5 or whatever? Like, how could you have gone to that? And I'm thinking, if we keep hearing jokes about her 70s gray bush, how does he not know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, she was quick to cover it up. She's like, oh, yeah, they did, the holograms, and it was like a reunion tour. And, he didn't really question it. I don't think he, cared too much to think about it, so...
Kurt Cobain is definitely dead. He cannot do a reunion
Hence the holograms.
Tour. Oh, yeah.
But I felt like it was kind of funny. They still didn't have him catch that. They're gonna drag that on.
They're gonna do it to the season finale
as they can. There's only 2 episodes left, so that's gonna be the.
It still goes down to my theory of Josh knows exactly what he signed up for. You know what I mean?
Do you think?
I think so. I think he knows what's up. Because there's been times that I dated a girl that I did not know her age at all, and she would not tell me her age, which led me to believe that she was a lot older.
Oh, for sure.
But I didn't question it because, as a guy, as a gentleman, first off, it's rude, whether or not they're young or old, because age is just a number anyways.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of all right, if she feels comfortable to tell me, that's cool. But if she's not going to tell me, then,
whatever, you're still having fun.
Yep, I was.
Well, they go to the bar. We'll touch a little bit more on Josh in a sec. But, Liza goes out with Kelsey and douchebag boyfriend, whatever his name is. What's his name?
Thaddeus.
Someone
with the
that,
douchebag name.
I feel like he's very, kind of... This is going to sound weird. I feel like he looks a bit, royal and prestigious and, whatever. But, Thad...
Yeah, it's kind of grungy hipster name with
it's not
Wall Street
I'm not
personality.
bagging on anyone whose name is Thad out there. I'm just saying that his name doesn't match him.
Well, Thaddeus
is a cool name. Don't abbreviate it.
Right. Leave it to that.
Then I could see him being rich and, hello, my name is Thaddeus. I work on Wall Street.
Yeah. But Thad, it just sounds I don't know, not him.
Yeah. He's trying to be cooler than he actually is.
Yeah.
And he does seem to overcompensate in everything he does.
Yeah.
We're doing shots. Yeah, come on, man.
I'll buy my $1 million paycheck.
Yeah. It's
he was I
get
share
it.
money all day long. No big deal.
Yeah.
But, what's her face? Kelsey. I keep wanting to say Lizzie.
I just keep calling her
Hildog. Well, Kelsey, ends up getting wasted. She takes a bunch of shots with her man and way too many. And she wants to get a tattoo and she wants Liza to babysit her, which once she was like, I'm going to get a tattoo, I was like, yes, they're spicing it up. Something crazy is going to happen. So Liza's supposed to be her DD babysitter, and they end up going to Josh's house because she wants a tattoo, where they catch him with this girl because Kelsey, who was drunk, threw a rock at the window, breaking it. What a nightmare. But, I would be really pissed off if I walked into that situation, but they're not official.
They're not official, so she really can't be, which is why in the end she's making out with him on the porch again.
But honestly, I would be done with that guy.
Yeah.
If that happened to me and I saw him, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'll come back tomorrow. The past is in the past. It's no, the past was yesterday and you walked in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I the only one that's I don't know, but maybe this is why the last time I tried to make something work and then it didn't work. But emotionally, they seem to be pretty official.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they're hanging out and opening up in a way.
Yeah,
I don't know. He seems to more than she is, obviously.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just was really, I felt really disappointed. Josh was but at the same time, I knew, it wasn't going to work out.
Well, and it was very obvious that, like, the girl he was with was the hot blonde, young tits and ass, and then, like, she's, like, the sensitive, refined, older, intelligent woman.
That's why I think he knows what's up.
But I can't wait for her to get caught in her lies, because you know she's just desperately lying over and over again about her age. And you know someone's gonna find out that you have a teenage daughter, and you know Kelsey and Josh and all these people are gonna be like, wow, I thought you were a friend and I didn't care about like that kind of stuff, but now that I know that everything's based on a lie, I think it's gonna blow up in her face.
Yeah,
maybe that's why like it's starting to get weird, because as we're going along, we're like, she's still lying, and there's no like way out. Like, I mean, there's no way out of this lie. I mean, she's just digging herself deeper and deeper, and like it's so. I mean, it was just. I just felt like it was sad and desperate that she went back to him without just okay, cool, whatever. You know, just I don't know. I don't know if maybe Liza, I'm not liking her as a character as much, and that's why the show's being different.
Same here. I couldn't agree more. I mean, I actually talked about this on the Kimmy Schmidt after show, but there's this obsession with like the adult acting like the child in TV show right now. I mean, there's Kimmy Schmidt, there's this show, you know, Younger, and then, I mean, I just feel like New Girl's like that. There's so many shows where it's like the adult acting like a child. And when it's Zooey Deschanel, it's like, oh, I'm quirky, funny. And, you know, with Younger, it's like she's been underground for half her life. And for this, it's like, oh, she's just a lying bitch that's unhappy.
Right.
Like, there isn't a good reason for her to be lying this much.
Yeah, I want to see her fight for herself and fight for her identity. And right now, she's just content with the ruse, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know. You go.
No, I just feel like she wanted to tell Josh. Like, she even told her friend, she's like, I wanted to tell Josh, but then we woke up and I was having, like, morning sex and it was great and I couldn't stop it and da-da-da, so then I, like, didn't tell him. So I feel like she always has, like, intentions to tell him and, like, fess up, but always, obviously, they get a little distracted and it's hard in that moment to be like, okay, hold on a second, stop. Like, I need to tell you something, you know? So you're just like, oh, I'm having fun, let me keep going. And then I feel like it's going to all blow over on the season finale. Like, it's going to end like that and then we won't know how they take it or what happens if and when they do get a second season.
Yeah, I mean, her character just seems so unlikable to me, and I want her to be likable. And I think the only way they could do that is if they make her sing, which I'm hoping for.
That would be amazing. That would be so awesome.
I don't know. It's still fun to watch the show, but I'm just like, I want something more out of that character because it's not like attracting me. I just don't like her as a person, as a character on the show. But usually I like Kelsey because she like balances it out, but this time she was like, you were supposed to be my wing woman. I don't even remember anything that happened tonight. And like she turned on her, which I've had that experience with a drunk friend before. The worst situation where you're like, you are a crazy person and you did this. And they're like, I don't remember that. And you're like, what's wrong with you?
At the same time though, okay, tell me, if you were in that situation and you were Kelsey, wouldn't you have also been mad at your boyfriend too? Because he knew how important this was for you. I'm sure you talked about it with him and he knew what's going on the next day. Like, I would be mad at my boyfriend, honestly, a little bit more than my friend, I would say, because I'd be like, well, you knew how important this was to me. Like, you were there. You were the one giving me the shots.
And they never followed up with that. They didn't show her hanging out or talking to her boyfriend after, but we did see her smooch that new dude she's signing.
She did send that your hot text.
I knew
with his picture. Who sends that? The picture of the guy to himself.
I know, that's so weird. Creepy. Like Google image search, like in the middle of the night, just hey, you're cute. It's like, all right.
And it's like your picture comes up too. You're like, oh, okay.
Guys, I just wanna announce a little something in last week's predictions. I do believe I predicted that Hill Dog and the author would hook up.
And they did. Boy.
Look what
I feel like more of a hookup will come up next week.
That's true. Okay.
Will there be a bone-in?
That's true, because I just recently found out that if you say I hooked up with someone, then that automatically means sex.
Oh, yeah.
And I did not know that. I used to say I hooked up with, like, as in, like, a smooch. That's a hookup.
I thought hooked up meant, like, making out plus more. Like, I don't know, in high school, I always just thought that. But I think that with this younger generation, not Younger the show, but, like, the wee ones, they're changing it to be sluttier.
Yeah, I think, y'all, if there's young people out there, y'all need to pump the brakes. I mean, I know I'm 33. I'm not old yet. But really, pump the brakes so you can see 33, because y'all are way too old and dressing up all crazy and stuff.
Yeah, it's true that I feel like it's not a clear definition of what that means. Like, so one person's like a kiss, or one person's like full on, you know, we went all the way or whatever. But I don't think there's a clear definition. I think it just depends on who's saying it and who's around listening to it.
Yeah, because they definitely, I was about to say they hooked up, but they definitely did not. They smooched.
They kissed, yeah.
And it was. Did you guys feed the sparks? I thought it was hot. I was like,
he was staring at her when she walked in the door. He was like eyes zoomed in. He was in it. I was like, he's gonna grab her face. And then I love how he says, "Well, everyone gets one mistake." That was like his ending line, because you know.
I hope she breaks up with Thad douche.
Yeah.
That douche needs to go away, and she should be like, you got me drunk and you're a bad influence on me.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. And then like go with the writer.
But this guy has a wife. Do you remember how he got a cell phone call from his wife?
Oh crap, I totally forgot about his wife.
Has a wife.
I'm
you
so glad
guys.
you remembered that.
He has a wife. Because remember whenever they were, the last episode they were at the bar or whatever, and she gets a text from Thad, and then she's like, oh, sorry, it's my stupid boyfriend. And then he gets a call, and he's like, oh, it's my wife.
I remember that now.
He like answers it. He's like, hey, babe, no, I'm just here, whatever. Like, and so like they both know the other one is taken. There's no like secrets about that at all.
This is not going to work well then, because that's just going to create a tangled mess with that. But also if they're signing together, like a contract where they have to work together for a year professionally, that's like a no-no zone.
Yeah.
Kelsey, why do you have such poor decision making with men?
It's pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. It was just like, I remember that he has a wife, and I was like, oh, I kind of want her to come around from the inside of the house, like, honey, who's at the door? You know, right when he was doing it, but obviously, like, she probably wasn't home.
Yeah.
So sleazy and scandalous. I think the problem I have with the show is that none of the characters are likable to me, and I need to have something
to, like,
that I'm
relate
connected in more, and I'm like trying to like Hilary Duff and pretend it's just her, not Kelsey, you know?
Right.
Like I really like Hilary Duff, so I'm like hanging on more.
Well, because when Samantha in Sex and the City, when Samantha would smash with some dude and be completely inappropriate, it was fun. I was excited. Like, oh, okay, that's so bad, but that's you, girl, and I love rooting for you doing bad, scandalous things.
Well, and there's so many shows with like asshole characters, like Always Sunny and stuff, where you still love the character even though they're horrible.
Yeah.
And for this, I'm just like, eh.
You're not like connected to any of them to like feel emotionally invested into it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still like interested to watch the rest of the season
to see
and
what
stuff.
happens.
I just
the
hope
2
that
episodes
they
that are
develop
left. Yeah.
like something more for us to grab onto.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a situation where, like if like you say, okay, Danica, you can make your point, but I want you to make your point in 1 minute. And then you're like, oh crap, I only have a certain amount of time. And then you try to like just pile as much stuff as you can into that 1 minute. And it gets kind of disjointed, like that. I feel like that's what the writing is, because they only have so many episodes. They're trying to put all this stuff in there. There could have been 3 episodes out of this one, storylines. But I wonder if they're just like trying to just shove so much in there at once that it's becoming disconnected, and they don't have enough time. They didn't set it up enough where we could really get character development.
Yeah.
Like I know that the Trout, woman, that she's single and lonely and, kind of a hard ass. But that's all we know. And there's not time
they need to develop it more.
Yeah, I think that's how hopefully the show, realizes that and starts getting into it more.
Yeah, I want to see a little more personality, and I've noticed that a lot with the references they make because the show is younger.
Right.
I was born in the 90s, so I'm too young for the younger age. So all the references are over my head, whether it's the old age or the younger age group. And I don't know, what are they supposed to be, 26, 27?
I think it's 26, 27, yeah.
Well, and that's what was weird, because I brought it up when we were watching it. They're like, JTT.
And Andrew Keegan, I remember both of them.
Well, JTT was in Tiger Beat magazine when, like, my sister and I were little. And my sister was all into JTT, and she's 31 now. And so I just felt like, maybe it was on the cusp, but I feel like when they were, those characters were that age, that JTT had, gone into his adult phase and kind of like.
I think like when they were the age, I think he was like still in those like magazines.
Yeah.
Because I remember like hearing about him and Andrew Keegan and all the girls like talking about, oh, who do you like more, blah, blah, blah. And so I remember that, but like. I feel like it was not the point for me to be like, oh, pick a side. It was just like, oh, I heard people talking about it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't like, who do you like better? It was like, oh, that's JGT because I've heard so much about him from all these girls like talking about him, and that's Andrew Keegan.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. It seemed interesting that just jumped out.
That was yeah.
No, it's funny because I feel like the characters just need to like have a little bit more personality or plot, and it's like with the writing. But I've seen this happen with other shows too, where it's like Glee, perfect example. Young high school girls, lines written by old Jewish men. And they do these jokes that are hilarious if it's a middle-aged man, but when it's this cute young 15-year-old, it's like awkward. And you know, I mean, I don't know what the writers are like on this show, but I feel like they're trying to do the whole younger thing by being like, ooh, young people take shots and want tattoos, but not like really showing the culture. And like, I mean, for instance, Hilary Duff has bluish, you know, green hair in real life right now. If they had her character add a little bit of that, that would like totally show off her age range and the personality and like how she is. I don't know. I think they could pull a little more.
Yeah.
But did I miss anything else big that happened this episode? I'm trying to think.
Pretty much covered it, I think. We talked about all the main points.
Yeah, I mean, she went back with the guy Josh, so I guess we'll see what happens there. He's trying to find out more information on her. She's still lying, and she trusts him that the girl's in the past, but they're probably both lying to each other.
Yeah.
There's just lots of lies, and I even the side characters, I feel like the side characters are there just to help move the story along. And that's, you know, in writing, that's what they're there for, but you got to hide it a little bit. Like, we know Maggie only shows up, you know, sporadically when they have to talk about, you know, okay, it's the scene where they got to talk about,
so how
talk
was
about
the
hot sex,
or
and then she disappears.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's no development. There's no reason that I want to listen to her brag to Maggie about this hot sex.
Because it's just a report.
Friends. Yeah.
It's like reporting back to her instead of them like showing their friendship and their personalities.
They're going out, they do stuff together, other than just divulge sex secrets.
Well, I mean, and when Debi Mazar was in Entourage, she was a side character too, you know, much like she plays Maggie.
Yeah.
But there was a whole backstory. You know, you knew all about Shauna from Entourage. You knew her backstory and made her even more fun. Like, oh, Shauna's here now. Let's have some fun with this scene. I want to be like that with Maggie. Ooh, Maggie's here. All right, let's.
Here we go. Yeah.
I don't think it's the actors at all, though. I think it's just the writing. No. It's the script.
I love all the actors on the show are great.
Yeah, I think they're all really talented. I think I just want the script to be a little better, but otherwise, I really like, you know, the whole New York vibe. Yeah. Like the production, the costuming isn't bad. I mean.
Yeah.
There's only 2 episodes left, so
we'll have to see what happens.
and they tease the entrance of like a Mr. Big type character in Trout's office.
Ooh la la.
And then Trout looks like, oh, wait a second, why isn't he looking at me? And he's looking at Liza.
Yeah.
Snap.
Uh-oh. My biggest problem with this show is that it's not Sex in the City.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever be as good. It's
I remember,
sad.
even when we hosted Carrie Diaries.
That was my critique the whole time. I was like, it's just not there because it's like CW.
Yeah.
But,
and it's TVLand, so.
Totally different ballpark. They're trying
Different
to get younger on TVLand, I guess, too, by the younger show.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump into some predictions.
Yeah.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Well, since Joe was right this week, I guess he can go first.
Ooh, all right.
Uh-oh.
I feel like I gotta top something and go big, you know, because like there was little hints going around, you know, that there might be something there. So I'm gonna go bigger this time. Go big or go home. You guys, I think that Hilldog, aka what's the Kelsey. I think Kelsey is not going to be at work for much longer. I think that she's going to get demoted or something's going to go down because there's no good thing is going to come with her, even with just a little smooch of this new. She's still young in her job. She's not safe by any means. She's trying to move up.
Yeah.
And climbing up that hill can be a slippery slope. I think she gets disciplined.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of mentioned, I think it's going to all blow over kind of in the season finale, like all the lies come to surface. But I think that they're going to hook up next time. God, you got me saying it now. Seriously? Kelsey and the writer guy, they're going to hook up. And I personally just want, just for more drama and more like thing, I just want his wife to walk in on them. I just do. I'm like, can she walk around the corner? We need something to like.
And then she's like, oh yeah, and like she's sweet, and then
she like
she's
joins.
down for it too. Yeah.
Oh my god. No.
Okay.
That would be crazy.
Prediction.
That would be awesome.
That would be pretty. Well, yeah, because you never know.
Well, I feel like I was so surprised with the cheating situation, whatever you want to call it this time. That would be wild. But
taking it one step.
I think that in the next 2 episodes, her daughter is going to show up.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's going to either turn into something else, or we'll see how it goes. You know, she's going to get caught somehow that she's old. But guess we'll see how. But be sure to check us out online. Thank you so much for watching our after show. And where can they find you guys online?
Ladies first.
Thank you. You can find me on Twitter at Annika_Michelle or Instagram AnnikaMichelle1 or my new website that I completely just updated, AnnikaMichelle.com.
Fabulous.
Nice. I'm all one thing, synergized up. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Joe Doyle.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the works, at Danica Kennedy. Be sure to tune in with us next week. We'll be here in the studio.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.